Hello everybody and welcome back to our brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode here on the channel. Hope you're all having a great day. Today we take on the Monster Mile at Dover, Delaware for race number 18 of 24 regular season races. Just 6 races remain in the regular season following today's episode, as we have part-timers Carson Kvapel again in the field for back-to-back races, joined alongside the number 30 of Ryan Vargas. As I actually forgot to change Ryan Vargas's name, so I was going to say AJ Allmendinger, but for lore purposes, just imagine that's Ryan Vargas here, as we got the Hellman's Cadillac colors here on our car for Junior Motorsports this weekend. Now as we come in, of course, in this tight battle right now with Christopher Bell for the regular season championship lead, and Kyle Larson has been really starting to kind of close in on both of us. Larson still winless, threw away the win last episode in Miami in overtime. Joey Logano stole it and took his second win of the season to become just the third driver this season to win more than one race. So Joey Logano starting to show up as we come up to the tail end of this regular season. Hard to believe we are already coming up on the playoffs here, which is going to be just like a repeat of season number 4 last season, where it's going to be 12 playoff races, of course, because we have an additional 2 playoff races for the final 4, and it, of course, is going to be a complete reset for the final 4. They'll all be even on points, and then the driver with the most points following the 3 race final 4 wins the championship, instead of the traditional and current format in real life where it's just a 1 race winner take all type situation. As I was quite happy with the car in practice, and I was excited to get out on the track for qualifying here about an hour later, and we head on to the racetrack here, starting our lap with a goal of a 23.734. No silly season news to report on in today's episode. Of course, we had the big news with Jesse Love going to Joe Gibbs Racing. Chandler Smith likely going to be the driver on the way out. We can almost guarantee that as we come through turns 3 and 4 off the corner, heading up to that outside wall to the line. It's going to be a 23.251, 5/10 of a second better than the goal time, putting us top 10. P9 for the Dryden 400. Could not really ask for a whole lot more. That was quite a solid lap. On pole, back-to-back races, Christopher Bell. Ty Gibbs, bubble driver in P2. He's been qualifying a lot better than he's been racing recently, so we'll see how that goes as well. Blaney and Larson rounding out the top 5. SVG in P16. Kyle Busch 19th. We know those two have some serious work to do. Logano, last episode winner, down in 26th with his teammates of Smith and Gilliland in 27th and 30th. You see Parker Retzlaff at the bottom of the grid. Amazon Prime Series as well in Dover. Riley Herbst won over Andres Perez, Purdy Hamlin, and John Hunter Nemechek. How about Chase Purdy? He's been putting up a great season as the second Trackhouse driver alongside Daniel Suarez, as we'll be back behind the wheel of our car soon enough here in the Amazon Prime Series. So stay tuned on an upcoming race for us now as we get ready to go racing Sunday from Dover.
6 races remain before the playoffs, and we are running on limited spots left in the playoff grid. What do we see today, Steve? A new winner or a repeat?
I think a new winner today, Lee. Kyle Larson is great here and could get the job done finally.
What a season it has been here in Season 5. Honestly, I was quite happy to see a repeat winner last episode in Miami, because we are running out of playoff positions for drivers in on points now, and we look at of course 12 different winners on this season. Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Hocevar, Briscoe, Blaney, and the likes of them are all fighting for the bubble spot. Chandler Smith as well, as we get ready to go racing here from Dover. Green flag is out. It's going to be a Joe Gibbs Racing front row lockout. Christopher Bell, 3 wins on the season. Your regular season point leader leads us down into turn 1 alongside Ty Gibbs, who's trying to fight his way into the playoffs. What a shock it would be to the world if Ty Gibbs misses the playoffs after winning a championship in Season 3 and only missing the final 4 last season by a single point. It would be a huge shock if he missed the playoffs this season, but right now he is in position to miss it. As we look to the left rear of the 23 of Ryan Blaney, clearing Chase Elliott. Something's been up with Chase Elliott over the last 3 or 4 races. We've really seen his performance kind of fade, so keep an eye on that number 9 as we exit turn 2. But of course, we talk about Chase Elliott, and I mean, he's been kind of struggling the last few races, kind of showed up last episode, but although he has had, enough speed to rack up some good points to put him in the top 5 in the regular season standings, if we continue to see more winners, there is a real chance Chase Elliott could be top 5 in the regular season standings and miss the playoffs. We've seen it with the likes of Tyler Reddick in this career mode. Of course, we expect, Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson, who have won no races combined this season, to be winning 4-5 races apiece almost every season, and neither of them have gone to victory lane one single time. Hendrick Motorsports as a whole, only 2 wins, 1 apiece for Carruth and Byron. As we found out very early on, Ryan Blaney's Advanced Auto Parts 2311 Toyota Camry is strong again here in Dover as he is moving forward, and even on the outside, he is able to breeze past me as Carson Hocevar took the early lead of this race. My junior motorsports teammate, another bubble driver that we're focused on. He is right in the thick of the battle. Our other teammate, Noah Gregson, he has to find victory lane if he wants to make the playoffs. He's about 20th in the standings overall, as we would now run down the 45 of Tyler Reddick. Blaney moving forward into the 4th position. A bit of contact there with the Monster Energy Beast Machine, as Kyle Larson right now running 3rd, but under pressure from that 23. So pay attention as Blaney continues to march his way forward. He is in the battle for the last spot in the playoffs right now with Chandler Smith in that number 18. And like we said in qualifying, Smith likely the one out at Joe Gibbs Racing, losing his ride very likely to Jesse Love. Now crash Zane Smith into the outside wall, and that's going to bring out a caution early on. Tire failure, as Dover sees, of course, tire wear being such a strong component as several cars are going to pile in, but tires are so important here in Dover. Not a huge surprise to see a tire failure early on in this race. Nonetheless, we're all going to stay out. Actually, Parker Retzlaff will pit, and Zane Smith does pit as well, of course, and he is actually still in the race now. So we're going to get back underway. We cannot make it to the end of the stage after staying out, of course, and Hocevar, Bell, Blaney, Larson, your two front rows here on the run into turn 1. How about that's Corey Heim in the Safe Flight 2311 11 car here on my inside as we exit turn 2. He has worked his way into the conversation today, and he has shown some moments this season of true progression in his 3rd full season of Cup Series competition. But we, of course, all, I think, expected more out of Corey Heim, but it'll be interesting to see what Denny Hamlin does, because this is not the first time Heim has shown some promise this season. But what will Denny Hamlin do with his driver as Chandler Smith goes through on my inside there, and now he's going to pass Kyle Larson as well. Connor Zilish just behind there, winner of the, of course, race just a few episodes ago in that wild ending where Alex Bowman, of course, loses out in Kansas to him on that final lap traffic situation. Now 25 to go on the stage, and Hocevar leads over now 2nd place Ryan Blaney, who's walked his way up into the conversation for victory again today. But Blaney, we've seen so many times this season, he has the speed, and something goes wrong, usually out of his control. Well, we see the same thing again here today. Last episode, well, 2 episodes ago, he was in the conversation, and of course he ran out of fuel, and last episode he and Chase Elliott both got trapped a lap down. They were on a bit of a different strategy. They had to take a wave around, and of course they lost some points in positions there for both of them now, as of course Blaney takes the biggest hit. But now Ryan Blaney has passed Carson Hocevar. Ryan Blaney to the lead here as we exit turn 4 in our battle of our own with the 18 Interstate Batteries Toyota Camry of Chandler Smith. Here comes Joey Logano. We see him sneaking up into the mix here in the rearview mirror. Last week's winner now trying to pass the number 18 to move himself into P6. He would be successful as I would continue to fight with the cars in front of me. Tyler Reddick, your Texas winner, on my outside here as we go through 3 and 4. This battle would continue on to lap 24 of stage number 1, and Logano immediately, as I'm watching, actually we slide up the track, and he's going to 3-wide it up the inside. Logano goes through after I clip the apron and slide up nearly into the door of the 45. A mistake grants the 22 2 free positions. Logano through into now 4th position, but I was about to say that Logano 22 is looking strong. Definitely gonna have to watch out for him as we get clear eventually of this 45, come into the tail end of lap 25. So up into P5, Logano runs 4th. He could very well be in position to go back-to-back wins here this weekend. Now crash up ahead. That's the 43 Legacy Motor Club of William Sawalich. Caution out 2 tire failures in the opening 30 laps of this race. Of course, that has been something we have been paying a lot of attention to recently. Last episode in Miami was the first race in a bit where we didn't really see a genuine tire issue throughout the race. Of course, we saw just kind of the usual tire issues throughout a race, but it wasn't nothing crazy. 2 cars stay out. Zane Smith and Parker Retzlaff, who pitted under the last yellow, remain on the racetrack now, and it's fresh tires from Blaney, Bell, Hocevar, Logano, myself on back. Blaney goes to the outside. That's a bit of a questionable call as we go into turn 1. He opens the door wide open for Hocevar to take the net lead of this race. He'll breeze past the 94 of Retzlaff. I'm going to get to the inside as well of the 23. Ryan Blaney, I think, has choked away the stage 1 victory. Hocevar to the lead over Zane Smith. I'm going to bring Chandler Smith with myself, and now Blaney fights back to my outside. Look at the speed in that 23. He is so strong as he clears us into turn 1, but he jumps back up to the outside again as we approach the final 10 laps of stage number 1 here from Dover, Delaware, out of turn 2. Bit of a stank up there. 23 couldn't quite get to the outside of his old car, and that number 12 and Hocevar is gone, driving away. Here comes Christopher Bell into the equation. Blaney's getting held up behind the 12. He's losing several positions on this restart as I knock the outside wall down with the right rear, and of course now that opens the door for the 18 of Smith to go to the inside and take the position. Into P2 goes Blaney's biggest threat in the playoff picture, but now he would jump up to the outside, opening the door for Christopher Bell, who got past myself and past the 18 as well, and now here I am again back to the inside of Chandler Smith on the run into turn number 1, and we'll clear the 18, move back up into 3rd position, and see what we can do over the course of these last couple of laps here in stage 1. Hocevar, Bell, myself, your top 3, as actually there was a car in the pits. That was a 48. That's Caruth. Rajan Caruth with an engine failure, and that's going to put him multiple laps down. He would rejoin the race, and he was, I think, 2, 3, 4 laps down, somewhere in there. We'll find out, of course, at the end of the stage. We're 2 to go here now as we look to the inside of the 20, but a big knock to that 48 team, of course, as we exit turn 2 side by side with this number 20 DeWalt Toyota Camry, former teammate, defending Cup champ. As we roll through 3 and 4, this every single point is so important in this battle with Christopher Bell as Tyler Reddick joins the party. 1 to go in stage number 1. Blaney and Logano are battling it out for 4th and 5th as we roll through 1 and 2, and it looks like Bell has got us covered. Carson Hocevar, what an opening stage here from Dover, as Bell does open the door for us, but we're not quite close enough to be able to get him as we exit turn 4. Carson Hocevar wins stage 1. Bell, myself, Reddick, Logano gets Blaney right at the end there for the 4th position, or sorry, for the 5th position. Blaney drops to P6. Chastain, Chandler Smith, Larson, and Heim, the top 10, just over Zilich, Gibbs, Van Gisbergen, Bowman, and Kyle Busch, rounding out the top 15. As we'll get ready to come into the pits, Caruth, free pass will take him from 3 laps down to 2 laps down as he tries to get back into the conversation here, and he's hoping that no cars go any more laps down in front of him. An exciting opening stage. We know Blaney and maybe Logano have the 2 best cars here today, but we know Hocevar has got some dog in him as well to put up a fight now with stage 2 underway. The Tire Pros Cadillac for Junior Motorsports number 4. Carson Hocevar looking for career win number 3, win number 1 on the season. What can he do here from Dover as well? Looking to, of course, increase his buffer gap over the final spot in the playoff picture. How about Chase Briscoe? I mean, he is as well very much involved in that conversation after having a very solid start to the season. We're now 3 wide. Logano to the inside, Blaney to the outside. Into turn 1, we were left vulnerable. Couldn't do anything about that one. Chastain goes through on the inside, and as well Corey Heim back into the conversation as we head down this back straightaway. Nearly clear of him into turn 3. We did briefly clear him, but I couldn't get down because I got to the right rear of Chastain. But Heim clears us for P7 as we go through 3 out of turn 4 down the front straightaway now. 40 to go in stage 2. We dive to the inside as Heim leaves the door wide open. Hocevar, Bell, Logano now your top 3. Blaney's going nowhere. We know that 23 is strong, but certainly he is not really showing it here at the start of stage 2. He was kind of committing to the outside, but now he would drop down to the inside past the 45 of Reddick, move up into 4th as we clear the 11 of Heim. down this back straightaway and settle into P7 here with 35 laps to go. I did make a wedge adjustment at the end of stage 1 during the pit stop, so we tightened up the car just a tad bit because it was starting to free up quite a bit there at the end of that tire run. So now a move to the inside of the 45 of Tyler Reddick, and this was a battle. The 45 wasn't going to give up easily. He would just plant his 45 Toyota on my outside door, and we would engage in this battle here from that started on lap 9 and it's continuing into lap 10, now continuing into lap 11, and I was trying to be nice and peaceful, you could say, with that 45, as I didn't want to use him up, and he was not making it easy. He actually on the exit of 4, but a contact there between us. He gets back clear of me, and we would have to wait for the right opportunity to get back into this conversation here as we exit turn 2, lap 13 of the stage. Look at the run back to the inside of the 45 Monster Energy Beast Camry as we roll through 3 and 4, clipped the apron a little bit, but fortunately kept the car under control there, kept it stable, and we would continue in this battle. I mean, we're just allowing who's ever in 8th to walk up into this battle as well, and I believe that's Alex Bowman who's currently running 8th as we wash up the racetrack right there. Still can't clear this 45 as we continue to battle to lap 16 of the stage. Now 27 to go in stage 2, and we are still just getting a door full of this 45, and here comes 8th place, 9th place into the conversation. They're getting larger in our rear view mirrors. I finally sail it off into turn 1 on lap 17 and clear this 45 for P6, and now we look to drive away. Ryan Blaney in P5 as lap traffic has now come into the equation as Hocevar continues to lead over Joey Logano as well as Rajan Caruth. Not a fan of this lap traffic because that's going to ruin his race now as we would continue to now start picking off some lap cars. But Ryan Blaney, probably the fastest car here today, and he is making all the wrong decisions right now. He was running the outside and he was planted behind lap cars. Rajan Caruth has actually come back into the pit lane in that 48 car. Maybe some more issues there as we are now stuck behind that 94 Talladega winner of Parker Retzlaff now. Do not expect to see him make it into the top 30 in points, so he will likely not be in the playoffs with that Talladega win. Nonetheless, this battle with the 23 is begun as we exit turn 4. 2 Andretti Global cars here with Sammy Smith, Bubba Wallace there in the middle, and outside they were of myself, and we clear the 23, but he fights back. Blaney not giving this one up easy, just powers back. You see the speed in that 23. It's almost like he's saving his car for stage 3 because he is really not trying that hard, but I mean, when he needs to show the speed, he has no problem doing it. But we clear the 23 finally as we exit turn 4, passing the 16 of Ty Dillon, and we move up into P5 as I don't think we're going to really be running down anybody as we're going to come into the pits. So this lap, the green flag pit stop's going to kick off. Hocevar coming in from the lead. Now Blaney going to stay on the racetrack, but everyone else in this top 5 pits. Yellow comes out as well as that happens just as we pass the commitment line. It's for the 12 of Zane Smith. Engine failure there, the second yellow of the day he will bring out, but hold on. We barely get to our pit box and there's only 8 seconds left before we're going to skip to the green flag restart. We do not have enough time to get the 4 tires on, meaning we have to take the 4 tires during the pit stop sequence under caution and give up 5 positions as now the field has shuffled a little bit, but it's still Hocevar, Bell, Logano, the top 3, but Ryan Blaney of course had to pit and as well he cycles back with myself and others behind Smith. SVG was in the pits and those guys had hit the pit lane a lap earlier, but the caution came out of course just after Hocevar and us hit the pit lane, so they did not lose a lap. So Gibbs and Bowman, those guys all cycle forward, and same for as well as, like I said, SVG. So a really weird scenario, just a poorly timed caution has really shuffled things, and now Ryan Blaney has got some work to do, and we have some work to do as well. Chastain, Kyle Larson, we're all trying to get back into this top 10, but it's still Hocevar leading the way, and Carson is doing a great job because he does not have the best car here today. It's the 22 and the 23 are definitely better than he is, but he is just doing a great job controlling this race as we exit turn 4 side by side with the Trackhouse Honda Civic of Chastain. Trackhouse as a whole is looking quite strong today here with Chastain, Kyle Busch, Bush, SVG up there in the top 10, as well as Connor Zilic there having a strong day as we continue to try and work our way forward. Contact with the 54 there as he checked up in the middle, and I really wasn't ready for that one, but we clear him up into P10 as we pass Chastain, past the 54, Joey Logano into the lead of this race here with less than 10 to go in stage 2 as we continue to march our way forward up into P9, passing Chandler Smith, who's to my right side as we head down into turn number 3. Alex Bowman as well running in P8. Larson gonna go 3 wide up the inside. I had to back out of it there. We drop back down to P11. Kyle Busch just behind in that Kubota orange and black number 99 Honda Civic, one of my favorite schemes of the entire season, as Hocevar would actually retake the lead from Logano as I cleared the 18 of Smith. Back into the top 10 we go as we try to follow Kyle Larson to the inside of the number 19 of Alex Bowman here, side by side with Bowman into turn 3 on lap 37 of stage 2. We will clear this 19 through the center of the corner. Up into P9 we go. Racing at Dover is always fun, and this has been a fun race as we now bring the fight to the inside of the number 5 HendrickCars.com, almost said Chevy, of Kyle Larson. Caution out, Sanchez in the wall with a tire down, and that's going to force a late stage restart. I think it's going to be 1 to go. I think this is going to be a 1-lap sprint. Ty Dillon for colleague in that number 16 gets a free pass, but it is in fact going to be a 1-lap sprint for the stage. And as well, I believe Sanchez is out of the race, so he cannot stay out at the end of the stage. Green flag back out here. 1 lap to go in stage 2. Hocevar, Logano, the front row. Watch out for Ryan Blaney. He's put himself back in position now into P3 as we're just behind the WeatherTech Honda of Shane Van Gisbergen. He was in position to win this race a season ago until a late race caution came out. Now we'll force a 3 wide on SVG and Corey Heim into turn 3. Hocevar in control as we slide up the racetrack. Will kind of force SVG to back out of it. We'll get him coming to the line, but Carson Hocevar wins stage 2 over Blaney and Logano as we come through to cross the stripe for P7 just behind Heim. SVG had to back out so much he dropped down to P10. 3 of the Trackhouse drivers in the top 10 here at the end of stage 2. Kyle Busch there in P9. We pit for tires and fuel as well, and no adjustments here as we get ready to go back racing. I did put the wedge on that last pit stop there during that last caution from 50.1 to 50.0 as we originally put it up to 50.1 but wasn't quite happy with it. We gain 1 spot in the pits for the start of stage 3. We're row 3 outside, P6 not where we necessarily want to be as the green flag is back with 51 laps to go in this race. The final stage underway. Who is it going to be? Hocevar or the 2 drivers faster than him, Blaney or Logano? Maybe it'll be someone else entirely. We have seen chaos strike in Dover in many occasions, so you cannot rule that out. Here's Corey Heim is going to get through into P6. Kyle Busch to my inside in that 99 Kubota Honda. What a beautiful paint scheme that one is. Now as we head down into turn 1, Hocevar leads still over Logano, Blaney and Reddick battle for 3rd, and now that Honda Civic 99 clear on the exit of turn 2, and now we get clear of the 19 into turn 3. We'll drop down in front of Alex Bowman as Hocevar has moved up the racetrack, but so is Logano. They're about 3 wide right now for P2 as we continue to settle into this 8th position. 49 laps of racing to go, still time to make things happen, but I really like the speed of this car on the longer run, so I'm hoping we get a nice green flag run here. Now following Kyle Busch to the inside of the 11, Hocevar is still running up top, and now Reddick, who's moved through into 2nd over Bell and Blaney and Logano, who have surprisingly dropped to the bottom part of the top 5, but now Hocevar is leaving himself vulnerable to the lead, maybe giving up it to Tyler Reddick as we're 3 wide on the exit of turn 2. Just a little bit of contact there with the 11, no big deal, but we move up into P7. Kyle Busch now, we're looking for P6 on him as we exit turn 4, following him with 46 to go on this run into turn 1. Hocevar still leads. Larson in the outside, well, huge crash, a terrible crash. Larson tumbles, multiple massive impacts there from other cars. That could be season changing for the Larson number 5 as he's still going into the inside wall. The caution is out, a huge crash for Kyle Larson. You have to immediately wonder, as he will remain in this race, but could that be something that results in injury following Dover? That is something we're going to have to pay close attention to. A massive, massive crash for Kyle Larson in Dover. By far the largest incident we've seen at this track throughout the entire NASCAR Heat 5 career mode. Larson remains in the race, but we've seen drivers remain in the race before and then end up being out of the car the week next following behind that. So we are going to have to pay a lot of attention to that situation there at Hendrick Motorsports. Larson does not have a win. He is not locked into the playoffs. This is going to be an interesting one. What can Larson do throughout the rest of this race is the next question now, as we will get back underway. Host of our leads, Logano still right there in the mix. Same for Ryan Blaney. We clear Kyle Busch into turn 1, and Hocevar's up the racetrack. They're 3 wide for the lead. Now, Hocevar in the 2 quickest cars. Blaney on the inside would get to the lead over Logano. Hocevar would end up dropping on that outside behind the 22, behind the 20 as well, as now it seems like this is an opportunity for now Hocevar to maybe get shuffled back by these guys, but Logano now loses a spot to the 20 as I have run down the 45 again of Tyler Reddick. We had one heck of a battle with him early on in stage 2. Are we about to engage in another one as we exit turn 2 side by side, already nearly clear of the 45. We should be able to clear him into turn 3. Yes, we will. Bell into second. Now Hocevar passes the 22 to move into third as we try to put some pressure on these guys. Ryan Blaney now has the lead and is starting to open up a gap, about 6-7 car lengths between him and Christopher Bell, but he is trying to run away, but he's not doing a great job because he's running up the racetrack a little bit, and so is Hocevar, so is Logano, as we look to the inside of the 22. What a race we've got underway here from Dover, as now both Bell and Hocevar run the inside. Blaney's still on the outside, Logano still on the outside, but that 22 has just enough speed to still be able to utilize that outside and stay ahead. So he continues to run the top, and so does Ryan Blaney, but now Blaney drops down to the inside, so he is just in control here, coming up on 30 laps to go into the outside wall. Regular season leader Christopher Bell, and that's going to be day over for the number 20. Caution flies. Bell out of the race. That opens the door wide open for us to move into the regular season point lead as Bell's day comes to an end. From running second, Larson is going to stay on the racetrack. We're going to pit for 4 tires and feel we can make it from here, so that makes no sense at all for Kyle Larson to stay on the racetrack. That is a very baffling call as Hocevar loses out 2 spots, and Blaney's going to be front row outside. We need to shuffle this 5 back immediately. Green flag is back out. We're racing here from Dover with under 30 laps to go. Immediately we pass the line and pull out a line to the inside of the number 5. He's going to be dropping like a rock, and you as well have to wonder, I mean, is Kyle Larson driving a bit injured after that accident as we clear him and are side by side for the lead with the 23 down into turn 3. Hocevar just behind us settles in. Blaney has just too much speed, clears us a power move around the outside. Back to the control of the race goes Ryan Blaney, and it didn't take long for me to get under attack from my teammate of Hocevar, as I just don't have enough to fight with him or Logano as well, who's coming up into the mix now. So Hocevar clears us for second. Here comes Logano for third, but Ryan Blaney with 24 to go is in control and looking to drive away and open up this gap to Hocevar and others here as we drop to the 4th position, as I feel like that's probably about where we should be, is 4th or 5th today, as now Chandler Smith has moved up into the top 5. Actually, that was short-lived. Chastain gets through on him and puts him down to P6 as Chastain moves up into 5th. I've got nothing for these guys. Blaney is in control in these final 20 laps. Now, outside wall contact, tire down. Parker Retzlaff. Caution comes out for the GMS rookie driver, and now everybody's going to come back into the pits again, surprisingly. And I was expecting this time it was going to be a no tire call. I'm going to do 2 tires, however, simply because I don't have anything for these front 3 in front of me. But if we take a tire advantage, maybe if we get enough green flag laps, we could put that to use and mix it up with those top 3 drivers. We have some points to work with Bell being out of the race, so we can kind of take a chance like this, and we've been taking some risks recently. Let's see if it works. We're back racing here. It's going to be 16 to go from Dover, behind the 99 and his Trackhouse teammate Busch and Zillits there side by side. Byron just behind us in that 24 Celsius machine. Beautiful paint scheme there that Sanok whipped up that we're finally seeing on track here for the first time time this season as we exit turn 2 side by side with Zilic. SVG there, P11, 3 of Trackhouse's cars right here running all together, and Chastain is actually, surprisingly, Ross Chastain's up to second. We are really seeing a shuffle of positions on this restart with 15 to go. Chandler Smith into third, Hocevar down to fourth, Logano going about to P6s. Heim's going to get there in between the two of them as we'll clear the 97 nearly into the back. I'd actually back out of it there so I didn't hit the 54 on the exit of turn 2, and Blaney is running away with 15 to go. Chandler Smith, he's going through into P2 and bringing Corey Heim with him into third. Hocevar and Logano, they continue to run up on the outside now as we're going to move into the top 10. We'll pass Ty Gibbs to the inside of Kyle Busch on the run into turn 1, and Blaney is in full control, and he knows that the cars directly behind him, the first 3 cars, don't have enough speed to match what he can do over the course of a run. So Ryan Blaney is just hoping that we stay green. 3 wide right there. Logano was on the far outside. We clear Bowman into turn 3. Logano finally drops to the inside, and both him and Hocevar start to move their way back forward, passing Chastain, who's dropping down the order. I'm going to pass him as well. We still have a tire advantage. Keep that in mind, but we know over the next few laps that tire advantage is going to start disappearing. Logano clears Hocevar, so Hocevar P5, Logano 4th. Hocevar drops down behind the 22. They'll both look to get past the 45. How about Smith still in P2? Logano jumped up top, so now Hocevar gets past the 45 and the 22, and now with 9 to go, he's going to look to the inside of Chandler Smith. Up into second goes Hocevar, but no one has enough time to run down this 23. The only way anyone's going to have anything for Ryan Blaney is either an issue for the 23 or a caution comes out, and we get a restart now as Logano up to the outside, and same for Hocevar, opening up the door for Chandler Smith back into the conversation here as we're wheel to wheel. 7 to go with the Shell Pennzoil Ford Mustang Penske driver. Logano looking for win number 3 on the season, but obviously it's not going to happen today. We clear the 22 and now bring the fight to Tyler Reddick for 4th with 6 laps to go. Hocevar continues to run up high. It's obvious no one is going to run down the 23 at this point. History of this season for Ryan Blaney would point to the fact that some way, somehow, he is going to lose this race. But right now, he is in full control as we exit turn 4. Caution is out, and there it is. And it's going to be for Vargas with an engine failure. Caution out. It's going to be 2 laps to go. And I think regulation, maybe overtime. It is going to be in regulation. Ryan Blaney with Chandler Smith lined up behind him. What's going to happen here on this restart? Will Blaney throw again? Here we go. Green flag is out. 2 laps to go in regulation. Hocevar on the front row as well, trying to get himself locked into the playoffs now. And Blaney leaves the door open. Chandler Smith with his career on the line. 3 wide move to the inside. 1 race after finding out he's probably out of a ride at Joe Gibbs Racing. He takes the lead against the driver he's going up head-to-head against in the bubble battle for the playoffs. Now as we roll through 3 and 4, Ryan Blaney drops to second. Coming out of turn 4, Hocevar on my outside. White flag in the air. Chandler Smith is about to do just the unthinkable as we go into turn number 1 for the final time, clipping the apron. Hocevar still on my door as I try to leave him room as we exit turn 2. Not what Hocevar wants to see, as well as a new winner that's behind him in the points. Into turn 3, both Smith and Blaney go high. Now Hocevar shoots the middle. Here he goes to the inside. It's going to be a drag race. What a move from Hocevar to the line. It's going to be Chandler Smith hanging on by just a bumper. He wins in unbelievable fashion. He steals it from Ryan Blaney, and Hocevar gets P2 at the line, and now Smith is into the playoffs, and oh my goodness, is Joe Gibbs Racing got a situation on their hands now. Ty Gibbs is out of the playoffs currently by over 80 points, and the only driver on the team without a win, as we know one of those drivers is going to be out of a ride between Smith and Gibbs, and it was like a 99% chance it was Chandler Smith. But you have to wonder what's going to happen now as we look at Pocono and we look at the playoff grid. What's going on with Kyle Larson? Is he injured or not? Chase Briscoe currently the last driver in by 28 points over Blaney, of course, with Smith getting the win. It really changes things there. And Eckes, of course, we know his points are actually different because of his injury. He's in a must-win scenario, and you see the gap with Gibbs and others. I mean, this just changed everything. And now you got to look at Gibbs has to win, SVG, Busher, Gregson, Bush as well. They all have to win into the playoffs, which is very possible with 6 races to go in this regular season. Unbelievable. That's going to wrap it up, and we'll have an idea of what's going on with Larson and a lot of other things going into Pocono. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.